Alright, my movie addicts family, let's start with our shout out to our supporters and subscribers in our YouTube channel. So, shout out to K-Assis. Thank you for your support to our channel. So, if you want to be shout out here in our feature video, just subscribe and comment on our video uploads. Now, back to our featured video. We will do a recap on action, thriller, sci-fi, year 2021 movie titled Godzilla vs. Kong. This is a big movie, as in really big, Titanic big. So, I am very excited to bring it to you. And, friends, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notified for our every upload here in our channel. And now, let's begin with the movie. Warning. Heavy spoilers ahead. The film opens seems to be on Skull Island. The great ape, Kong, awakens and gathers his food on the island before making a spear from a tree. Kong developed a bond with a girl named Gia, a deaf girl from the Iwi tribe whose family was killed by a tidal wave. Kong then throws the spear, and it hits the wall of a dome that is using Skull Island as a setting. Kong is being studied by Monarch scientist Dr. Eileen Andrews. Eileen's aide thinks Kong should be let go from the facility, but she worries that him being out in the open will lead Godzilla to go after them, as there cannot be two alphas. Gia is looked after by Eileen. It has been 5 years since Godzilla battled King Ghidorah and established himself as the king of the Titans. A former Apex employee, Bernie Hayes, runs a podcast, Titan Truth Podcast, discussing his theories on whatever kind of secret work the company is behind. A new company called Apex Cybernetics, led by Walter Simmons, has stepped in to help rebuild society following all the destruction. As Bernie tries to gain entrance into the facility, it comes under attack by Godzilla, who lays waste to the place, seemingly unprovoked. After burning half the place down, Bernie notices what looks like a core reactor hidden underground. Madison Russell sees news of Godzilla's rampage, leading to everyone thinking he is not as heroic as he once seemed. She listens to Bernie's podcast regularly and overhears him saying how the Pensacola facility is responsible for whatever is going on with Godzilla. She goes to tell her dad Mark, who is now working closer with Monarch. Madison doesn't think Godzilla is naturally destructive, but Mark thinks that Godzilla has given in to these monstrous tendencies. At the Denham University in Philadelphia, Walter visits former Monarch scientist Dr. Nathan Lind. He approaches Nathan over his Hollow Earth theory, as they have detected an energy signal from a potential ecosystem in Hollow Earth. He introduced Ren Sarazawa. Walter wants the life force from there to fight against Godzilla. Nathan's brother was lost in a mission traveling toward this location. Walter shows him a vehicle that can get him and a crew down there safely. Nathan goes to find Eileen, his former colleague, to convince her to use Kong to help locate the Hollow Earth source. She is reluctant to do so, knowing that Godzilla and Kong's ancestors once fought against each other in a great war and may repeat history, but she gives in. Kong is then brought on board a convoy ship, and the crew is joined by Walter's daughter Maya to oversee that the operation goes according to plan. While sailing in the pouring rain, Gia goes outside to find Kong roaring in distress. Eileen runs out and learns from Gia that Kong is able to understand and communicate in sign language, and she knows that he doesn't trust that the crew has his best interests at heart. Madison gets her friend Josh to go with her to find Bernie. They get a tip from a guy at the nearby convenience store and locate his apartment. Bernie only talks to them when he realizes who Madison's mother was. He discusses his conspiracy theory with Madison and Josh. She thinks that Apex did something to provoke Godzilla into attacking. Bernie tells them about a large stash of cargo that has made its way to Apex, as well as the tech he noticed earlier. The crew feeds Kong fish, while Eileen asks Gia why she didn't tell her that Kong can communicate, and Gia says that Kong didn't want them to know. Not long after, Godzilla makes his way toward the convoy. The Navy tries to fight back, but, due to little no damage at all to Godzilla. Within a swoop of Godzilla's tail, a lot of ship was cut into half. Kong tries to free himself, but Godzilla crashed into them, and causing the ship to turn over. While underwater, Godzilla is approaching Kong for the kill, but Nathan helped and released the locks. Kong is freed from his bonds and goes after the giant lizard. Godzilla and Kong come close face to face and fight vigorously. Kong manages to get a couple of good hits in, and knock Godzilla back into the ocean, but Big G fires his blue flame toward the sky, causing him to take the advantage and pull Kong underwater with his tail, nearly drowning him. The crew releases depth charges to disorient Godzilla and free Kong, but the ape is wiped out. Nathan tells the convoy's captain to kill the power to make Godzilla think he's won, so that he can leave. They do so and it works, and Godzilla leave the convoy. Bernie joins Madison and Josh to the rundown Pensacola facility, but when they access the bunker, they find that the core is gone. The three then find an elevator that takes them underground. They come across a chamber containing pods filled with skull crawlers, but before they can get out, the chamber is picked up and being transported to Hong Kong. Kong is airlifted to Antarctica to avoid Godzilla. Gia convinces Kong to go through a tunnel, where he has picked up the energy source, as it may lead to his home. Kong leads the crew toward the tunnel, which takes them through a portal where gravity is inverted. There, they find Hollow Earth, home to many other titans. Kong encounters winged monsters who attack him and the crew, but he grabs hold of them and smashes one into the dirt. Another tries to strangle and suffocate him, but Nathan's ship fires at the creature and gives Kong room to tear it apart and even eat from its skull. The trio ends up at the Hong Kong Apex facility and discovers what Walter and Ren have really been working on, the superior to Godzilla that will put an end to humanity's titan problem, the Mechagodzilla. Walter tests its power on an unlucky skull crawler, which the trio witnesses. Godzilla felt the power of Mechagodzilla and turns towards Hong Kong to find it. The crew travels deeper into Hollow Earth and comes across the home of Kong's ancestors. He picks up an axe made from a spike off the back of Godzilla's ancestors, and he finds his family's throne room and sits upon it like a true king. The trio also discover a room with the skull of Ghidorah. They saw that Ren is controlling Mechagodzilla using a psionic uplink connected with one of the skulls of Ghidorah. The axe activates the energy source in the ground. On the surface, Godzilla has entered Hong Kong, making the people run in chaos on every corner. Godzilla then finds the source leading to Hollow Earth. He breathes down it and sends a blast, making a large hole to the ground. Maya then sends out Apex Spider drones to take out a sample of the source for her father to exploit, despite protests from Nathan and Eileen. Maya commands his crew to hold up guns on Eileen. When Kong sees this, he got angry. From up above, bat creatures descend and attack Kong and the crew, and Kong fights them off. In the chaos, Maya and her team try to shoot Kong down, only for him to grab their craft and crush it in his paw. Kong takes his axe out, and he then jumps through the portal, with Nathan, Eileen, and Gia following in their craft. While in Hong Kong, the trio are then caught and apprehended by the Apex guards. Then begins round 2 with Godzilla. They trash the city and demolish skyscrapers, but Kong comes back with a fury by bringing down the axe on Godzilla. It was a furious and long fight, and both are match. His blue flame doesn't affect the axe, and in fact, charges it with the blue energy, so Kong manages to bring Godzilla down hard with one swing. The trio are brought to Walter, who is planning to set Mechagodzilla onto the real Godzilla to establish humanity's dominance over the creatures. However, Godzilla gets himself back up, and another long fight again. Then, Godzilla able to bring Kong down again with his foot. He roars in Kong's face, but Kong remains defiant and roars right back at him. Godzilla spares him and starts walking away. Unfortunately, at the station where Mechagodzilla is, a failure occurred. Just as Ren begins the uplink to Mechagodzilla, Ghidorah's consciousness takes control. Mechagodzilla swings its claw at Walter, killing him, while Ren is electrocuted from the override. The metal beast rises to the surface and goes after Godzilla, beginning to overpower him with its strength and stronger heat blast. Godzilla was no match and took the beating. Meanwhile, when Gia senses Kong's heartbeat slowing down, Nathan uses the Apex vehicle to deliver a charge powerful enough to revive Kong. When he wakes up, Gia tells Kong that Godzilla is not the enemy. He understands and charges to fight Mechagodzilla before it can deliver the fatal blow to Godzilla. And Godzilla joins the fight. Realizing Kong is on his side, they both fight the robot with all their might. It was a long fight and Kong was almost killed. Godzilla charges Kong's axe with his blue fire breath, and the mighty ape starts chopping Mechagodzilla's limbs off before ripping its head off and showing it off as a trophy. In the aftermath, Madison reunites with Mark, and he meets Bernie, who wants to have him on the podcast to discuss more Apex and Monarch cover-ups. Godzilla then rises and looks at Kong, who drops his axe to signify their truce. The Titans look at each other as worthy opponents before Godzilla goes back into the ocean. Nathan and Eileen set up a new research facility in Hollow Earth, which Kong has made his new home. He continues his friendship with Gia and goes about the land, where he is now once again the king. Thank you for viewing our movie recapped. I hope you have enjoyed watching our videos. Please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to help us grow. Click the notification bell so you will be notified when we upload our next videos.